Kevin Bacon around the release of the Bacon Brothers album. And one of the things that came up is he sort of had a gripe in that artists, singers, turning to actors are more readily accepted than an actor wanting to put out a record. There seems to be seems to be a bit more prejudice. Prejudice attitude involved.
I don't know why, but that makes sense.
Yeah, that's not real.
I was wanting to give you an insight to that at all.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
Because you were accepted as an actor.
Well, it's not been the easiest fight of my life, I can tell you that. They were really resistant when I did Moonlight and Valentino in Toronto in '94. It was absolutely a meeting the director took as a favor to the movie company. It was just when I won the role that he was surprised, and subsequently I've had to do that time and time again. Not until, I could tell you honest to God, not until this movie I'm shooting right now was the first time I've ever walked on a movie set and not had anybody talk to me about record videos or touring or anything. And it's the 8th movie. You know, just getting to that point now where they talk about other films.
That's great.
It is good. And the company I'm keeping is pretty hip. You know, I mean, I'm doing this movie with Kevin Spacey and Helen Hunt and Haley Joel Osment. And, you know, Haley Joel wasn't even born when Slippery came out.
He was born and keep it
Yeah, right.
Like 7?
No, he's 12 now.
Oh, geez.
Oh, okay. The life on the road, being in a rock band, there's some stories out there, not pertaining to Bon Jovi, just at rock band, huge level of success out there. There are some excesses involved, unfortunately, that have, did damage to a lot of bands. You escaped that, though.
We lived through it.
Lived through it?
We did that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of kept everything kind of close to the chest, but we didn't have any, like, real bad problems. Like some of these other bands, we watch some of these, like Behind the Music on VH1 here in America now. I mean, it's like everybody's just talking about
bands you didn't
wow,
expect.
Man, it's like, I mean, everybody's just saying, wow, we're like, man, this and that and all this stuff going on. And we never got to that point. So, I mean, everybody had their own individual battles, and they weren't big battles like heroin addiction or anything like that. Things like that.
I know you can't speak for other bands, but what is it about a band on the road that leads to things that would kill you?
21 hours of sitting around. The 3 hours we're on stage are so joyous that you sacrifice everything else traveling to it. Sitting in a hotel room on any typical day, the two of us would be sitting in a hotel room until 5 o'clock in the afternoon with nothing to do, nowhere to go, bored. And then after the show, when you're done and it's midnight and you're as like wired as can be from just giving your heart and soul out to an audience, they tell you, okay, go to bed. Yeah, sure. And then you stumble around a hotel bar just trying to come down again, and then before you know it, it's 4 or 5 in the morning, and then that cycle comes and goes in such a way that you become like a zombie, and you don't do anything for yourself anymore. Your suitcases are picked up, they're carried to an airplane for you, you get on your own private plane, you fly to the next, you become a zombie.
Yeah, it's a bit like a cocoon at times, It's kind of like you're in this kind of tunnel vision thing. Time stands still. It's another plane ride, through another hotel room, to another venue, and it's that way for that's why, we had touring was something that you have to learn how to do. We had 2 tours in the 80s that were 16 and a half months apiece, back to back. That's why we had to take that break in '90. We were crisp, we were singed.
But you love it though.
Used to really love it. Used to love it.
Not anymore?
No. I'll be the guy who goes kicking and screaming. But the night that the house lights go down, that first night, and I take that first step on the stage, then I'll go, oh right, this is what I do for a living. But between '96 when I left the stage and the day of, I'm not an applause junkie, never was. Even in the right in the middle of those albums, I remember up days in Vancouver, going to see AC/DC or seeing shows like while we were recording the record, going to the arena, hearing the rush of the crowd and going, that's cool. That's what we do too, but I don't need that. I don't need to get up on stage and jam with them. I've never been like that. I could care less.
I beg to differ, unless I took this the wrong way. Wembley. One of the greatest things I heard you ever say is what it is about now for you in walking off stage at Wembley. You having rocked all those asses out there. Not to rush off stage, but to walk back slowly and just enjoy it.
What I'm saying is, until the first day of the tour, I could give a damn about it.
Oh.
From now until July 12th, I'm going to be the guy kicking and screaming all the way up my driveway going, oh, I want to do this. But the first step, when those lights go out, and not until, all the way through the rehearsal period of walking in.
Your boy has a mistress now.
Yeah, he does. I will not think once about it. I'll walk in, the first show is the Tokyo Dome. I'll go to the sound check the day before and be cursing that bitch. But when those house lights go out that first day, then I go to work again. Then I become the guy. But and I'm definitely in a place now, but we're not doing those 250 show tours anymore. It'll be 50 shows this year, and I will step backwards off the stage and take it in, because there's no more running on a treadmill. But it's got a place and a time that, you know, has to be very defined.
I guess you feel the same way.
Yeah, not as much, nowhere near as much. I mean, my reasons are different. You know, I mean, I'm more like, you know, I'd be kicking and screaming because I'll miss my family or something like that, and you know. But I'm actually looking forward to it, you know, to get out there and do it again.
How do you deal with the life on the road part where you have to do meet and greets or do interviews? Because you do interviews on the road. A lot of bands don't. You choose to. People wanting to be your friend, wanting a piece of you, wanting to shake your hand all the time. There's always one guy in every town who just won't leave you alone. What was that guy again?
Is that you?
I mean, no, I'm pretty cool. You know what I mean? No, the one guy that won't leave. There's always that one guy.
I don't know. That's cool. You know, nobody. I think the kind of music that we've always made attracts the kind of people who are very friendly. They just want to say, hi, how you doing? Thanks a lot for the memories. It wasn't a kind of a music that attracted somebody who wanted to argue because our music was a soapbox or a political platform or social issues that you're going to get in fights with, you know, civil rights groups or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. It wasn't Bono up on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
It was entertainment. So somebody comes by and says, you know, living on a prayer meant blah, blah, blah to me, you know, I mean, and I sang it in a karaoke bar last night, or then you go, oh, great, geez, that's really nice, but you didn't even think about it. You go, that's great. That moves you in a way that you go, I guess all that work and all those years paid off.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, you know, but I'm a fan too, you know, I mean, I went not too long ago to see Tom Waits and more or less went to the meet and greet, you know, I went to a party afterwards, I was like, Tom Waits, you know, so I have those moments, and so I understand what those moments are.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm still a fan. I'm still absolutely a fan.
Speaking of that, you heard Tony, there was a karaoke night last night turned into a little Bon Jovi concert without Bon Jovi, though.
I love that.
Where was that at?
Barney's Beanery.
Oh, really? Barney's cool. Great.
Guys were singing our songs in the bar.
Kind of love that, man. That's like a tribute, you know? I mean, that's very flattering. Very flattering.